And in here I was like 3 years into my seamstressing career thinking I was going places, but turns out making a jumper breaks me. Hello and welcome to a new video. I learned to sew my own clothes about 3 years ago, and ever since it's just unlocked this whole range of skills for me. I feel like I never want to go back to not being able to fit my clothes to myself, and it's almost an obsession because I get to the point where I feel like, you know, if something doesn't fit me perfectly, I don't actually want to wear it because I know I could make it better myself and fit it to myself. So often, you know, I don't really like buying things from other brands because I actually feel like I'd be able to make it better suited to my body if I just made it myself. But the one thing that I just cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to do is how to knit. I've tried knitting and I know how to do it in theory. You see, I can, you know, do the kind of like, but it's just, I just don't have the patience for it. And also I feel like I struggle with making things three-dimensionally. So I feel like the idea of knitting something that is in a pattern that then can be sewn together makes more sense to me than knitting it in a way that already fits. Whenever I sew, I kind of like take it in as I go. So I don't take a pattern and just make it the way it is. I'll try it on and I'll be like, oh no, it needs to be smaller, it needs to be bigger. I just don't know how to do that with knitting. It's just not part of my skill set. I have been relying on other brands to make knitwear that I can wear. And obviously there's a lot of nice brands out there. Like you see me wearing Emmy Design every day. So they make these really adorable 1940s cardigans that have a little poof sleeve, and this is one of their Edwardian cycling jumpers, and really lovely, but I just like making my own clothes. So I thought, instead of knitting a jumper, could I just use knit fabric and sew it? I got some fabric, and this is a knit fabric, so it's very stretchy in all directions, and it's obviously a nice rusty red because it's autumn, and on this channel we're very excited about autumn. I just kind of thought I could use one of my blouse patterns that fits me very well and just make it without an opening, so it's just a little tube. And then because this fabric is very stretchy, I could just like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. But also because this is so stretchy, I don't think I can sew it the way I normally do, with like just like a straight stitch. So I think you need to use a zigzag stitch for stretchy fabric. Like, this is the first time I'm working with stretchy fabric, so this is completely over my head. But I guess we'll figure out how to do this together. So with this all being said, my idea is I want to make a little 1940s jumper. So very plain, very simple for now. Hopefully not a lot can go wrong. I'm just thinking maybe of making a little mock neck, because I don't actually think turtlenecks suit me very well. Like, this has a turtleneck and I often feel like I'm a little bit swallowed up in the jumper. So I'll make a little mock neck and I'll just make a plain front. And then I want to make a little 1940s sleeve, so just like half-length sleeve. And I don't actually know how to finish off the hem. Do you just like make a normal folded hem? I don't know, but I think we'll figure that out as we go. And also I have quite a lot of fabric, so if things go wrong I can just like completely cut everything out again. Are you going to help mommy as well? Have you had enough? Yeah, that's too much. That's all I wanted to say, and with that, let's do some sewing. Hello and welcome to the sewing room. So if you haven't seen my last video, you may be like, where is she? I turned the spare bedroom into a sewing room, which is very excited because I've got a dedicated sewing space now. And I've got my mannequin inside the house, which means I can actually fit things while I sew them and don't have to run through the rain into the garden house to do it. Basically, I have learned in the meantime that to sew elastic fabric, you can use a double needle that then kind of like sews a double straight line on one side, but the bobbin thread kind of like zigzags between them. And I saw a video of someone using it on my machine, so it's a Singer heavy-duty machine. So it should be possible. I was in this whole cycle of thinking about what to do with this jumper for the past like 4 weeks, because basically I'm thinking if I use a pattern I usually use for blouses, it will fit me quite well on the shoulders. You know, I know my patterns and I'm quite confident in them, but I don't actually have a mock neck pattern at home. So I was just like, I'm just gonna use a blouse collar pattern. And then I started looking at patterns on Etsy for jumpers, and I thought, you know, oh, this is a dedicated pattern for a jumper, maybe that would be better. But then I looked at people's pictures of making them, and they just didn't fit. And I was like, oh, but what if it doesn't fit me? I already know my blouse pattern fits me, but I don't have a mock neck pattern. So, I mean, this just went on and on in cycles for 4 weeks. In the end, I'm just going to use a pattern I have already, because I just don't really like using modern patterns. They usually don't fit me, so I prefer using my little antique blouse patterns for everything. We'll just see how it goes. I feel like I'm just chatting at this point to procrastinate, because I haven't sewn in so long. I'm just kind of like a bit anxious to start. But let's do it. Let's do it. Let's cut out some fabric. Let's do it, friends. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit underwhelming. So first I tried sewing the pieces together by just using a very tight zigzag, but it got all kind of like wrinkly. So then I just went in and used a normal straight stitch. I don't know, it looks a bit better, but it also looks extremely boring. But I guess so is the nature of jumpers that are made from one colored material. I mean, it fits okay. I'm not wearing a corset currently, but it kind of like fits quite tight. I'm hoping that maybe it will shrink a little bit when I wash it, because obviously I haven't pre-washed it. So now I just need to add the little collar and the sleeves. And then at the very end, I'm going to try that double needle thingy to finish the hem and the sleeve hem. This mock necky thing is tight. Managed to get it over my head, but let's just say this is not something I'll be able to put on and off when my hair is done, as you can tell by the state of my bangs. Just needs the hemming now at the bottom and on the sleeves. Let me just have a quick look into the mirror. I mean, looks fine. It looks fine. Also, I feel like next I'm going to be like, I'll see you in the reveal, and it's going to be this jumper, but with a hem on the sleeve. So I'm sure you're all thrilled to see what this will look like in the reveal. I don't know if you're normal or if you're like me and you're just like, I'm trying this on, but I cannot possibly imagine what it will look like with my hair open. So I need to open my hair to get a better idea of whether I like it or not. I like it. I mean, it was plain, but I feel like because, you know, I have a lot of hair and it's very long, so often my hair is actually the main actor. Let's see whether I can get this off. Yeah, let's just say, you know how there's girls who can undress in a sexy way? Well, this girl ain't one of them. Tis done! I have to admit, I found this quite difficult. So it was obviously quite quick to do, but this whole double needle thing, so you're sewing from the top and it has the double needle, and like in between the double needle it zigzags at the bottom, but that means you kind of like fold over your fabric and you try to catch folded fabric between the zigzagging, but you're top stitching it so you don't see how it's like folded underneath. So there are a good amount of bits where I just kind of like missed it. But that is the bit that's going to be tucked into the skirt anyways. To be fair, like it's none of your business what's happening underneath my skirt. I tried a bit more with the sleeves. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, not my best work. So it turns out the entire... Oh, it's way more than I thought. No! I thought I was done. I think I sent on the collar and I just kind of like put it in and then overlocked it because I thought it would be stretchy, but turns out it only caught one side of the collar. So I also have like, can just like pull it open. So I guess I'll be re-stitching the collar a little bit, trying to catch the bit that was unraveling and trying to catch the entire bit that I never caught in the first place. On all sides, turns out. I never caught it on any of the sides. Wow. And in here I was like 3 years into my seamstressing career thinking I was going places, but turns out making a jumper breaks me. And I do the rescuing off screen because it's late and I'm tired. But I'm gonna persevere. I'm going to be a very brave girl and do it all. And then I shall see you in the reveal, I think. So I'll style this tomorrow. I'll do something with my hair that is a bit more than whatever this is. This is kind of like the Grinch. Come on. Come on. Kinda, it's like the Wish version of it. It's kind of high. Anyways, with that being said, I am going to rescue this jumper and then I am going to show it to you in the reveal tomorrow. Bye-bye. To get back to my original question, can you sew a jumper rather than knit it? Yes, but should you sew a jumper rather than knit it? Yes, for that question you have to discuss it with your own conscience. Generally it turned out cute, but, very big but, all of the double needle seams just came out absolutely horrendous. So I feel like the ones at the sleeves, because I was trying to be really careful, are all right. They're not great, but they're all right. Whereas the ones at the hem, yeah, we don't speak about that. And also, obviously, the collar is tied. Like, I knew this, but also like trying to put it on this morning for the reveal. I didn't do my hair yet because I knew it would destroy the bangs. So I just had my hair like curled up and the roller still in. It was a fight. The collar being so tight, I just feel like the only thing that can possibly be compared to it is the moment when Aylin has that mask on and she goes, "Take it off, take it off." That is basically what I felt like trying to get this jumper off. Aylin ripped at the immovable mask, either unaware or uncaring of the prince before her. "Take it off, take it off, take it off." Her screams were unbearable, worse than those that day on the beach in Ilwe. The fabric is knit, but it's not very warm. So I feel like now that it's autumn, it could almost be a bit cold. So maybe I would wear this underneath a cardigan. So I'm almost wondering, rather than it being an autumn jumper, I mean, obviously the short sleeves don't help, but it would probably be rather an item that I reach for it in late summer when it's actually still quite warm, but you're already in autumn mood, so you're like, I'm gonna wear a jumper. It's too warm for my jumper, so I'm gonna wear this thing. But it also still has to survive its first wash, because obviously I did not pre-wash my fabric. I said that earlier, that I was hoping it would shrink a little bit because it's generally a little bit too big, even though I did take in the sides a bit more eventually. But if the collar shrinks, it's game over. I will not be able to ever get this over my head again. So with that all being said, not the most successful project, but still, I don't know, something fun to do for autumn. It was worth trying it. I think I learned something in the process, which is I should learn how to knit. But I guess there are a lot of brands that made really cute jumpers, so I could always just buy jumpers rather than having to make them myself. Happy October, happy best month of the year, and I hope I'll see you in my next video soon. Bye-bye. But yeah, if you want to know what I'm up to in the meantime, go check out my Instagram, because that's where I post all of my stuff.